Well, extended Father's Day blog over here, and I just see these two words on the TV that say extreme heat, and right here, extreme heat, and it reminds me of the scene in 1980 movie Virus, based on the 1960s book of a Japanese author, when the laboratory scientist is like, such and such, you're testing the virus's resistance against extreme heat. It's called the MM88 virus, and similar to how in Stephen King's book The Stand, that was written after Virus from the 1960s, was the Captain Trips virus, but it was something more official than that. Anyways, I'm not complaining, but when I first started studying self-development, it wasn't very easy for me. And after I watched some United States delegates I think they were in Japan, they might have been in China, but when the lady was sitting, I won't say her name, ends with Pelosi, she was sitting here like this, and she put her hand on her, it looked like she was wiping her clammy hands on her suit pants like this, and I noticed it. I picked up on it, and I don't know if that was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I don't know, but I was like, oh, because I've been picking up little self-help details all over the place. I used to only look in self-help books. It's like the worst cult to be in the world. Really, now I'm talking like Tony Robbins. Yeah, all right, but because it's like a you buffet, and the single word you is the most overused word in English language and the least understood. In fact, that's my breakfast sandwich. People don't get attention. Someone said online in GTA the other day, I'm sitting here trying to gamble my life away, leave me alone. And I said, if you're gonna take a risk, you'll need dice. So it's like, you can't play Risk without dice, but you can't gamble without money. Robert Greene talks about the difference between risk and gambling. Gambling is very dangerous. And in the book that I got, I kind of have gotten back into it after getting out of it for a while. There's another package of a McDonald's breakfast sandwich. Here's one of the most important pages of Robert Greene's books. Upside down, it looks like a house, doesn't it? Like half of a house right here, the roof. And to roof is about the class system. I started to watch Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels yesterday. I can never understand a movie, especially not if there's no subtitles. When there is subtitles, it's much easier to understand. Jason Statham's first movie that was that made him famous, and there's such low class compared to the Taruf on Wikipedia. If you read about Taruf, I was looking this up. This is something I didn't know there was a chapter of Judith in the Bible. I'll read that later. But this one is real important because there's no reversal. There's no reversal to this in 16, strategy 16, and there's no reversal to this in 15. This one's really long in the Boxer. So, in A Bad Day in Bosnia, is from the trailer of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. They say, a bad day in Bosnia. There's a guy on the street who's being conscripted, who boxes the draft officers, and they start running away from him on the street. There's a video of it. It's wild. I can't find it, though. Okay, so this section of On War, where he talks about a leader needs a reflective mind in the chain of command, the higher up the chain of command, the more of a reflected mind a leader needs. It's kind of like this tunnel the very end. The Chinese have a proverb expressing this: trouble is a tunnel through which we pass, not a brick wall against which we must break our head. So this is from the early 1960s when JFK was just elected. Trouble is a tunnel through which we pass, and not a brick wall against we must bang our head. Okay, and so check Robert Greene, what he says. This is about Milton Erickson's technique right here that I can't find anything about. This is the tunnel, this circle right here, this hole in the image of the boxer, and then the very next one's hit them where it hurts in the center of gravity. And that image is the wall. Okay. That image right here, whoops, the wall. Your opponents stand behind a wall which protects them from strangers and intruders. Do not hit your head against the wall or lay siege to it. Find the pillars and supports that make it stand. Give it strength. Dig under the wall, sapping its foundations until it collapses on its own. Every living creature has a center of gravity. There is no escape. So, let me jump real quick over to Facebook. I can't pronounce his name, from Charlotte, who became famous a few months ago, I would say temporarily, for this siege right here. And he took down the live stream of it. But I thought it was just one of the marshals that was lost during the operation, but there was 4. So that's very sad. I can see why it's not being reshared. Anyways, one of the marshals is in this video that was taken down right here. You can see, I won't show it. I thought it was a woman who was being spoken to. One of the marshals, there's a car, say this was a car. One of them is crouching right here for cover. The other one's laying down on his back, laying down and pointing his weapon up like this. And during the shootout, and what he leaves out of saying, he says, go back inside, but, you know, as a marshal, what he doesn't do is, see if I got it here. Right here, the first result from 2,000 years ago, approximately, give or take a dozen years. This is why the cult of you is so important, because in a self-development community and the cult of you, Y-O-U, your cult, you know, people are always looking at the camera, like in TikTok videos. This girl that was on TV, is so compelling because it's the attention that people crave. They get the attention in the self-development community. But the problem is, you know, they could be going on a trip, like a vacation, and like, even though they're in like some of the like nicest places in the world, they're still sitting here doing this coping technique of talking about self-development stuff. Like, oh, you should such and such, such and such. You should. Instead of just like enjoying the experience, right? It's like, oh, here's how you should not diet. Here's how you should live your life 101. Here's, you know, all these like self-development stuff. I didn't realize it would come in a wave. You know, I kind of departed the community of self-development in like 2016. It's just so embarrassing. I had my first jury summons, I think, when I was 18. And I was in college, you know, doing well for myself. Had a job been working for 5 years already when I was like, whatever age, more than that, but, what I did to get out of it, and I didn't kind of realize that it was like, it was my chance to join the clan of the grand jury, you know, to audition for it. At the summons, they asked me a few questions, and I made a friend taking the train to downtown. We were both summoned. I don't know if they selected her, I don't remember. But they didn't select me because first thing I did after leaving the interview, we had an hour for lunch. I went to Barnes & Noble. I shoplifted the smallest book they had. It was half the size of this. It was called The Art of War. Put it in my pocket. I walked out just to keep their world, there's like a worldwide entertainment ring of making fun of dumb criminals. A lot of it is extended on YouTube, like the world's dumbest criminals. And so I got out of that, but not my father. He's just been summoned on Father's Day. And there's still some more stuff to talk about. I guess I'm back down here to the TV. This TikTok stuff is, I don't know, I was thinking about making a remake. So here, this is the attention. It's like, they call it love bombing in cult terminology. It's like that. That's why I'm always trying to look away from the camera when I record, or not have that bug-eyed look of, they talk about in songs and stuff. But anyways, oh, what did I say yesterday? This is going to be funny. If you're having daddy issues, here's a daddy tissue. Happy Father's Day, Father. That's a good one. That's like a greeting card. Oh, so here I am. I conked right out in that chair right there. It's very difficult to sleep in something that's called a psychological ward of a hospital, but they have a grid of chairs kind of like that. If you've seen the Beds on a Beach album cover of Pink Floyd, not too long after that, I went, the same seal that's on this is the same seal that's on my mental psychological health warrant from 2009, which was 2 years, I think, after I was summoned for Klan membership or grand jury. You know what I mean? It's an audition. And what's so funny, though, is my dad never complains about anybody. There's nobody in this world that my dad doesn't like except for me. And I don't get upset at that because in like self-development culture, we know if somebody doesn't like something and they hit the dislike button and they say, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, that means they really, really like something. But I'm the only person in the world that my dad's ever complained about. And he usually does it respectfully in front of me. He usually never says anything behind my back as far as I know. And so I got a lot of respect for him for that. But when my dad starts going on to town on me in public, when people start complaining about me, it's so funny. Y'all have no idea. But I don't think I'd go with him to jury duty, even though I kind of am obligated to as one of his caretakers. Just because I don't want any part of their system. I was happy when Hollywood shut down. Last year I said they're finally not making fun. They're finally stopped making movies making fun of me for a while. Good. And that's good. Oh, this stuff is great. Organic wheatgrass. It's great. And I just, I first got it at the health food store. Now I just kind of order it online. And it comes in a large bag. Oh no, I shouldn't be exposed to this, but yeah, this is the brand that I get, and I'm kind of hooked on it now. But of course, it's just like it's not even a supplement. It's just like a powdered grass. Oh, I don't know. You got to try it. Most people won't try it. They'll think it's really bad. I bet I look really bad when I do this. Let me see how I look. I don't look too bad there, but whatever. Oh, I gotta go back upstairs now. The whole point of this video is, that's how I got out of jury duty myself. I was never in it in the first place, but 2 years later, I ended up in the other mental system, and it was worth going through. It's worth going through for anybody. It's scary, like a scary movie, but in the recovery time is, for me, like a dozen years. Somewhere in this book she talks about, it's on page 36. Sedation. So wake up, eating, just like in a psychological ward. Just this paragraph here, from this is the bottom of it, this is the top of it. I don't want to read it all right now. I'm trying to shrink myself into a state of a coma like a hypnotized man in a shop window. But it's not like that. I basically am trying to sleep as much as possible. It's like a sleep therapy. Complete rest. Continuous sleep for a few days. But my father's kind of stuck in that cycle, sleeping every day. I would say maybe once a month, once every 2 months, my mom sleeps all day. And I think that's what's needed. It's the afternoon and I just woke up. So I'm trying to overdo it in a good way with sleep, you know. It's kind of the opposite of intentionally trying to lose weight by starving myself or sleeping less. But yeah, I feel much better after all that sleep. And what helped me fall asleep, was sitting there looking at my mental psychological thing from 2009, talking about all the things, you know, that I posted on Facebook last year, and how they're making movies making fun of me, Marley and Me, and specifically that one, I'm the dog in that movie, and Wally. I guess I was like Wally or something, but man, it's just so funny to think about now. Like, it was not funny at all. I crumpled it up, and the stuff that I said I was so mad about, and it seems like every few days they show one of these very attractive ladies on TikTok getting political, and I mean, I would imagine they're worth following, but I don't know if I'd be able to get my dad out of jury duty unless I got him on social media. I made him one Facebook account for his birthday virtually a few years ago, but even though I have the phone number linked to his number, I don't have lost the email. Anyway, so what got me back into self-help was seeing Senator Pelosi, whatever she is, leader of the such and such, when she had visited, it was either Japan or China, and she had wiped her clammy hands on her not her sweatpants, but her suit pants. And so I started touching myself in that way, you know, like 2 years ago. And it's like, had a very deteriorating effect on my physiology, my physical, you know, being. And like Claire Weeks talks about in her book that I keep showing off, is she says, stop touching yourself. Like, you think it's going to make you feel more confident by either doing this or like touching your pants so you're not touching your skin. And it's like, it's like the most insidious, subtle thing. Like in Robert Greene's chapter 15, the most insidious game of all, forcing strategies. But yeah, I guess that's just a follow-up blog to what I said on before Father's Day.